Join me as I highlight small businesses in the craft industry with interviews on-site at distilleries, breweries, and more. This podcast is all about getting to know the people behind the craft, celebrating their hard work, and of course, having a few samples along the way. Welcome to Crafted Conversations. In this episode, I traveled to Culpeper, Virginia to visit Belmont Farm Distillery and speak with famous moonshiner Chuck Miller. The word legend isn't enough to describe Chuck's influence on the craft spirits industry, and his expertise is showcased in several episodes of Discovery Channel's Moonshiners. In fact, while at the distillery, visitors had lined up to snag a photo and a bottle signed by him, which made me even more appreciative of the time he took to show me around the distillery and sit down for an interview. At nearly 80 years old, Chuck has been making whiskey since his grandfather taught him back in the day and has built up Belmont Farm, alongside his wife Jeanette, to be America's first craft distillery, and famously shares his grandfather's original recipe of Virginia Lightning Moonshine around the nation. If you enjoyed this episode and others we've done, I'd appreciate it if you'd follow us on social media. We're currently active on Instagram and Facebook. And also, be sure to follow us on your preferred podcast platform and leave a rating and a review. We currently stream on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and others. Soon we'll even be doing this show in full video format, so stay tuned. Now, let's get to my conversation with Chuck. Cheers. All right, well, Chuck Miller, we're here at the Belmont Farm Distillery. Thank you for having me here, man. I appreciate this.
Hi, Alan. Yeah, pleasure having you here today.
So, first of all, I want to say this is such a pretty farm. I drove up here from Fairfax, Virginia. Never been out to Culpeper. Shame on me. I'm glad I'm here now.
If you get out of Fairfax, any place is pretty.
That's very true. But so tell me a little about yourself and tell me about the distillery.
Well, let's see. We moved here about 50 years ago, my wife and I. Been married for 53 years now. Well, we had 5 kids. And sometimes, got a little tough farming. And I thought about what my grandfather used to do.
Sure.
He had a lot of kids, a lot of bills too. Of course, I knew him in his later years. But anyway, he invited me down to work with him. I wasn't sure what he was doing, but it didn't take me too long to figure it out. He was quite a character. And then I had to go away in the military. As the Vietnam War came out back then.
Wow.
Anyway, I never thought I'd be fooling around with any kind of moonshine or drinks again. But when I came back, family, all the bills, I thought, damn, I just got to do what Grandpa does. So I called it was the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Farms at the time.
Right.
And they told me no small person has ever asked for a license before. Apparently, 1980, they changed the law.
Really?
Prior to 1980, you couldn't get a license. So I started mine and finally got it about, since I was the first one, I think it took a lot longer. About 1988, I got it. So that's been like pushing 30 years now I've been doing this. But it's been great and a lot of fun and I enjoy it.
I was going to say, it's not a bad job.
Nah.
So it was just moonshine back in the day?
Yeah, we started off with just our moonshine. Grandpa's original recipe, just corn.
Yeah.
And we know the way, a secret way we do it, and makes a really good product. And
sure.
It's top selling moonshine in the state of Virginia. Clear one, not the flavored, if you want.
Right.
The flavors.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, so what about you? I know you found out from your granddad that he was making moonshine and you wanted to follow in his footsteps. Were you a whiskey guy when you were a young man? Did you decide, hey, I love liquor. I love the science behind it?
Well, I always loved bourbon.
Okay.
I occasionally drank too much.
You and me both.
Yeah. But as I got older, I learned how to control myself. But I like my bourbon, and a lot of products are great. I'm just anxious to get you to try one.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we have some poured here, and I'm excited to try some. But I do want to compliment you because the space you have here is very pretty. It's a very nice place to sit down and have a drink.
Well, we like it here. It's a pretty place. It's quiet, away off the road, away from civilization. You come back here, you forget about everything.
That's why I like it.
Yeah.
And it's a testament too, because I'm going around talking to craft distilleries and these small operations, and some smaller, some larger than you, but I love that TLC, that tender love and care that you have to put into the product, because you're here, it's your farm, it's your product. you can go and do something that, you know, you're not restricted by this big corporation that's telling you what to do.
No, nobody tells me what to do except the federal government.
Yeah,
I have to get permission for everything.
I hear that. Yeah. Is there something fun with the experimentation? I mean, I'm sure you have products that, you know, these are our benchmark. They're here forever because they're good and they sell. But do you have fun with the experimentation of like a new product down the road, or?
Yeah, we're always experimenting with different things. But you know, flavors are in, but it takes a lot of effort to get them passed and get them where people like them. So we have some of the basic flavors. We got the apple flavor, cherry, and we got this new one, butterscotch. Came out really nice. So we might try something with that. You know.
Hey, I'm not opposed. Was there a bit of a learning process when you started doing this, or how long did it take you to become the expert that you are now?
Well, I'll have to admit my early batches weren't all that good, but it was me and my son were cooking that day, and we distilling our first batch. You know,
sure.
I'd go and taste it. He'd go and taste it. How does it taste now? It's so good. Let's go taste it. So we never really closed that one down. It closed us down.
I love it. Was there did you find that, I know there's a lot of places, because they sell out so quick, they have to kind of play with the cash register of what bottles are available, and you can't really age it as long as you want to.
Well, when we first started at Virginia Lightning, we couldn't keep it on the shelf.
Sure.
It was a hot seller. That was before the moonshine craze, you know?
Right.
Yeah, and people were anxious to try it.
Yeah.
We sold a lot, and we still sell a lot. It's still a great seller. Once you get hooked on that, you can't get off.
We should try it. We're talking about it.
All right, well, let's give it a go, huh? Now, this is 100% corn. It's 100 proof. You can taste the sweetness in it. You know, it's not all harsh. Has a great taste, really. So, cheers.
Cheers, Chuck. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, that's good.
It is pretty good.
That's a good white spirit.
Yeah, it comes good.
Man.
Yeah.
And that's 100% corn?
100% corn, 100 proof.
Yeah, that doesn't drink like 100 proof. That's dangerous.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's a great seller.
And that's the same recipe that your grandfather used.
Yeah, same one, all corn.
How did he? Was he alive to teach you at all, or did you?
Only before, in high school years.
Okay.
You know, then I had to go in the military. He passed away.
Gotcha.
But anyway, it worked out good. I remember what Grandpa did.
Yeah. How did he? Did he have a recipe written down somewhere? Or how did that?
No, just from working with him.
You just knew it.
No, he just got the whole thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You're quite a guy.
You said you're in the military. How long were you in the military?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah. No, Grandpa used to come back to the farm, with bullet holes in the window. Mostly in the back window. Back then, if you had a fast car, you get away.
That's right.
You can't do that today.
No.
No. You do a lot of it.
Oh, man. Well, that's very good. That's very good moonshine. I'm we had talked earlier that I haven't had it. I've seen it before. I've never bought it, and
okay.
And I wanted to wait to come talk to you and have it, because part of what sells me is this great flavor and great quality, but also the story. I'm sure that helps with the shelf.
Yeah, people always like to hear the story.
Yeah,
because
there's a lot of moonshines out there that are big, big producers. The moonshine craze hit.
Yeah,
and everyone made moonshine.
Everybody makes it.
Yeah,
even if they don't sell it, they make it in their backyard.
Exactly.
Everybody's making it. But I kind of set the standard though with this one. I think we ought to try one of the flavored moonshine.
Okay.
How about a butterscotch?
Butterscotch. I can do butterscotch.
Yeah, that'll give you some idea when you start flavoring what it tastes like.
Right.
Because it calms down. That's only 70 proof now.
Okay.
So you can enjoy it. It tastes a little better,
How are you adding the flavor? Is it just an infusion, or is it?
It's an infusion. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it came out real nice. A little bit of a butterscotch taste,
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
Ooh, yeah.
When you calm it down a little bit, huh? It jumps right back at you, don't it?
That's good. That goes down too quick.
Yeah, we sell a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. It'd be good in a cocktail.
Yeah, you can make, yes. Cheryl, she can make all these cocktails with these whiskeys, huh?
Oh, I'm sure.
Just
So what's we've been talking up your moonshine because it's your original product, and it's. I mean, is that what you're most proud of? Is that moonshine?
Oh no, we got some other products. We started off with Virginia whiskey. It's a bonded Virginia whiskey.
Okay.
What I did was I went to U.S. Trade Office, copyright place downtown D.C., and I got Virginia whiskey registered. Well, there's this guy down in Tennessee who makes Tennessee whiskey, Jack somebody. I forget. But anyway, I wanted to be like him. If he can make Tennessee whiskey, I can make Virginia whiskey, huh?
Amen.
So I got it labeled and protected under copyrights. But anyway, it's good whiskey. It's a little different whiskey. It's a lighter whiskey. Basically, the reason because it's traditional bourbon recipe, corn, wheat, and barley, but we do it in a used barrel.
Oh.
Yeah. So you don't get that real heavy bourbon flavor. It's a real light, smooth whiskey.
Right. And that's why you can't call it bourbon.
Yeah,
it's in a used barrel.
It's a used barrel, right.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really a good product.
And what's the mash on this?
Well, it's 51% corn.
Yep.
And the rest is split between wheat and barley.
Okay.
Yeah. So cheers.
Cheers. Oh, that smells sweet.
Mm-hmm. And now that's that's 6 years old.
That's 6 years.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So that 6 year statement, was that a time that you found that was the best, or did you try pulling it at 4 and say, it's not ready?
Yeah, we got some at 4 and it's not bad.
Yeah.
No, but it's a little cheaper at 4. A couple more years after a couple more dollars to the bottle, but it's bonded, which proves to everyone, that it's our product. We don't source anything.
Yes, sir.
We even grow our own grain here. We start from scratch.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we look out the window and that's where the barley is.
Yeah, right.
That's very cool. That's very good. And that's 100 proof.
100 proof. Yeah.
What's your best seller so far?
Well, aside from Virginia Lightning.
Yeah.
Bourbon.
Is it the bourbon?
Yeah. Now the bonded sells real good, but our single malt and rye is slowly catching on. Once they try them, I got a steady customer. But our bourbon's been a real good seller.
Okay.
You want to try that next?
Let's try the bourbon next.
All right, let me tell you, it's 50% corn and then half wheat and barley. And we aged it in a brand new barrel like you have to do.
Yep.
But we use a number 4 barrel. Most, it's a char.
Right.
Level. And most guys are using a 3,
Yeah.
So what you get when you go to a 4, you get a more full body. You got a nice, heavy taste, Yeah.
Love it.
The good stuff.
Yeah, right.
So we offer 2 types of whiskey. So you have the Virginia whiskey, is a little lighter, and you got the full flavor with the bourbon.
Yeah.
So let's give it a try.
Heck yeah. Cheers.
All right. Cheers, man.
Oh, yeah.
How you like that one, huh?
That's notably different than the Virginia whiskey.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah, it's different, but it's
wow.
Yeah. Been a real good stuff.
That char number 4 comes through quite a bit compared to the Virginia whiskey because it's
yeah, isn't it amazing how the barrel affects the taste and the flavor, huh?
It's wild.
It is wild.
It's honestly, it's one of my favorite things to explain to my friends and family who aren't whiskey drinkers hey, that moonshine that's clear is the same thing that's in the barrel.
Yeah.
Just with extra flavor.
That's right.
The color is all
from the barrel.
There are some places out there that are cheating. They add some caramel color.
Oh, is that right?
And they're wrong.
Are they allowed to do that?
They're not. They can't call it bourbon. They can't call it rye. There's a couple legal designations.
Oh.
But yeah, because like bourbon, you can't add anything to it.
Oh.
So, but why would you?
Yeah, why would you?
The problem.
When it becomes a little different color next time, so what?
That's
that's just the way it is.
That's just the way it is.
But sometimes in a barrel house, the ones that are way up top, they get more heat.
Oh, yeah.
And so they got a little different flavor than the ones in the bottom. They're a little slower.
Right.
So, but you try to mix the top with the bottom and try to come out with the same product. But sometimes you can't get to the bottom. So you're all tops, But it's close, it's close.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing, too, that, I'm glad you said that because the big boys they're curating all their bottles and their barrels to taste relatively the same. Every bottle of, Jim Beam or that guy Jack we talked about is going to taste the same because it's meant to. Yours, every barrel is going to taste different.
Yeah.
Every bottle is going to have generally a different flavor. So that's part of the craft.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk bad about anybody, but the Buffalo Trace guy in the Sazerac.
Yep.
I was went down there for a tour. He only has one mash bill. And he makes Eagle Rare, he makes Buffalo Trace, he makes all these other products. Huh? Happy Van Winkle.
Yep.
But it's all the same mash bill.
Right.
It depends where he puts it.
Just a barrel in a specific spot.
Yes. He got some old buildings down there where they're stone and they're damp on the river, you know, and they age differently than like a tobacco barn out in the middle of the field, you know.
Right, right.
So you get different whiskey and different chars, and he comes up with these different whiskeys. Of course, different ages.
Yeah.
Kind of neat.
And different prices, too.
And different prices. But he does real good with it.
Oh, yeah, he does. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen the news articles about Buffalo Trace. It's like a $35 bottle.
Is it 35
bourbon,
now?
But that's MSRP. You go into like Washington, D.C. or places where they're not regulated like Virginia is, you'll find it for like 65 plus.
Oh, really?
The secondary market has ate that up because Buffalo Trace has the name and they know the bottle and it's going to sell for a lot. No, it's not bad bourbon.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I mean,
but it's not worth
bourbon.
$70.
No, yeah, that's what I was saying. It's good. His Eagle Rare is really good. I like that.
Yes, I love their tenure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's cool. Have you? You're talking about your barrels a little bit. Have you found a Cooper's that you love, or?
Yeah, we got a guy in West Virginia we really like. They use the local trees over there.
Okay.
He's right close to the Virginia line.
Cool.
But they make our barrels for us.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Have you found any special one-offs that they lost a barrel in the back and it's like it's been sitting there for too long and it's like, oh, this is a 13-year-old bourbon. Let's try it out.
Oh, we had one barrel that was stuck in a corner. We couldn't get it out. So 25 years later, we decided we're going to get it out, huh? We bottled that up in $375, and we put a heavy price tag on it, $300.
Oh yeah,
and it sold it.
Did you?
Oh, it sold it right out.
Oh my god,
amazing, huh?
Yeah.
So I got some bourbon back there now. I'm saving it. It's 10 years old, but I'm gonna wait. It's a little old.
Yeah, right.
I think a 12-year-old.
Okay.
When it comes at 12, I'm gonna sell it special.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, should we move to the rye?
Yeah.
Tell me about your rye.
All right, now our rye, of course, is all grown right here. Had a great crop this year. And it's basically all rye. I mean, a little barley, you need some barley, and a little bit of corn. But I think it's like 90% rye.
Okay.
And of course, we didn't know much that was going to taste because we've never made any rye before. and I don't like rye.
Right.
It's too spicy, not smooth for me.
Yeah.
So we made it, and darn, we have to wait 4 years. And after 4 years, we popped it open. Darn, that stuff's good. Huh? But the market seemed flooded by then, so we went with bonded rye. We just want to prove to everybody, that it's all made right here. Nobody else does it. Do the whole thing you got to do to be bonded,
Right.
It came out really nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I think the marketplace is just kind of catching on to it now.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that rye hasn't caught up to bourbon yet. No. Bourbon's kind of ruled the market. Yeah. Everyone hears bourbon, they think it's the best thing ever. And there's some great bourbon, but I think because of that, a lot of the single malts and ryes have suffered because people don't want to try it. But just recently I read that rye in the last couple of years has seen a spike.
Yeah, now, years ago, rye was real popular. If you go back 20 years or so ago.
Right.
Or even longer. And it kind of died out. They made a lot of rye, in Baltimore, Maryland.
Yep.
And Calvert Cliffs, I think that was the name of it.
Yeah. And I think Sagamore.
Sagamore, now he's up Maryland, but he's newer.
Yeah.
He's only like, 10 years old.
10, 12 years,
like
yep.
But he's doing real good with that product.
Yeah.
I see him over in Europe, and I see him. I run into him in Canada, I run into him in Europe, England, I ran into him.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Small world.
Ain't it? Yeah.
Well, shall we?
Yeah. So you want to do the rye now?
Yeah, let's do the rye. Okay.
You'll taste this. You'll get the full flavor effect.
I love it. Cheers. That's a good rye.
What do you think about that rye? Huh? It's got just enough of that spiciness where it's not overpowering.
That barley really comes through on that.
Doesn't it?
In a good way.
Yeah.
It's not malted barley.
A lot of it, not all of it is, but not all. No.
Okay. Because I do get a little bit of a chocolate malt on there with the spice. That's really good.
A little bit of spice comes in with it.
And it's not offensive. Sometimes, like you said,
sometimes
spicy rye.
It gets you. You can drink that.
And how recently have you started doing the rye?
Oh, about a year now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it selling pretty good?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. You know, we don't enter a lot of contests, but every time we enter one, we win. We do a lot of those people choice things. I like those better because I don't trust one judge.
You mean the one where you send a check and a bottle and say, hey, give me first place?
Yeah. We do real good. We got every one of them's got an award.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, it's doing fine. And once you got to like rye to start with.
Right.
And it's hard to get a person that doesn't like rye to try the rye and to drink it, But once they try it, they like it.
Well, the big thing too with rye is, and I've noticed, is that, you have people's palates who aren't accustomed to the burn of an alcohol or a whiskey. And then you try the rye. That rye spice can sometimes trick their brain to think this is a hotter whiskey than it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's not the burn of the alcohol.
It's the rye.
It's the rye.
Yeah.
And like I was telling you before, like there's a lot of places that make a rye that's just meant to be spicy. And that's just too much.
Yeah, some of it's too much.
Yeah.
I can't drink it.
Well, I enjoy this quite a bit. There's a long malted finish on the tongue that I can't place. That is a unique rye.
Yeah, it comes out really nice, doesn't it?
Yeah. Wow. And I love the story too. You bonded because it sets you apart.
Yeah. People want to bond it right. Prove it's my rye.
That's right.
Go to Jack Daniels or somewhere and buy it.
You're right.
Put your label on it. Midwest Grain, that's where people.
Yeah, MGP.
MGP.
There are quite a bit of distilleries out there, and I've talked to a few of them that start with a sourced spirit.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's nothing much wrong with that, but
no, but it gets them their cash flow quick. They got a lot of bills to pay, Yeah.
So
I don't pick on them for that.
No.
But we got the option of doing it right.
That's right. Now, and your white spirits pay the bills.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I mean, that Virginia Lightning, I'm actually curious. This is we're kind of backtracking a little bit. That Virginia Lightning specifically, is that the same mash as your any of the other whiskeys?
No, it's all corn.
Have you thought about using that and putting it in a barrel?
Yeah, we've had people want me to do it, I'm sure it would make a great whiskey.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
No, we haven't done it.
I don't want to taint the name of Virginia Lightning.
Oh. We have 17 products now.
You need 18.
Maybe 18? I don't know. We keep chugging along.
No, that's good. So what we got next? We got single malt.
We got to do the single malt. Now that, is barley. 100% malted barley.
Okay.
Now, we raised the barley here, and then I built me a place to malt the barley. So we malt it here too. We do it all right here.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got this great big trough. I should have showed you. I got this great big trough,
Yeah.
And then we fill it full of barley, and then we fill it full of water.
Yep.
Let it soak all night. Come back the next morning, drain out the water.
Yep.
And then start rolling it. You got to roll it over heat.
Right.
It only takes like 3 days. You'll start getting these little shoots,
Sure.
And then I bought a peanut dryer. I don't know if you've ever seen a peanut dryer before.
No.
It's a big trailer with a false floor.
Okay.
And then I hook it to a corn dryer, like you would your grain tank.
Right.
And we auger it on in there, level it off and turn on the dryer.
Wow.
Dry it down. And then we're all ready, just whenever we're ready to make it, we make it, for the first 25 years, I was the main distiller, but in the last 10 years, I got my son-in-law kind of coming in and taking my place.
Sure.
So I'm almost 80 now. And when I pass on, don't fret. My son-in-law is going to keep it going.
Okay? Good, because I'm a lifetime customer.
All right. But he's real good at all this. So we got to try this malted barley malted on the farm.
On the farm.
Yeah.
Cheers
100% barley. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
How you like that, huh?
That's full of malted chocolate. Goodness.
Yeah. So if you like malted whiskey, by God, this is it, huh?
This is it. Wow. Now, you said obviously most of all this is from your farm. Do you ever have a situation where you have to get from other farms, or is it? 'Cause I'm sure sometimes a season by season is good.
Yeah, sometimes we got the barley, we can plant, and then maybe the next year we do the wheat, the small grains. You got to rotate them with the corn.
Right.
So sometimes you don't quite get enough of the small grains because you have. Well, the barley's got to be for 2 years.
Right.
Because you plant barley again for the next year. So.
Right.
You occasionally run out of this or that, and we just buy from local farms.
Okay.
Yeah, make up.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, I think local still is local.
Local's local.
That's great.
Yeah. But you know, it's got 200 acres, so we do pretty good.
Yeah.
We get plenty of corn usually.
Oh, yeah, corn is. But wow, that's a good single malt.
Yeah, good.
I'm impressed.
Good. I'm glad you like it, huh?
And I'm saying that as a Scotch drinker because I love my bourbon.
You're a Scotch guy?
I'm a Scotch guy.
Okay, cool. Well, that's even better.
No,
we don't have the smoke in it, like the smoke the guys do.
The peat smoke.
The peat, yeah.
Yeah. No, I love my bourbons. I love my ryes, but you put a gun to my head, I'll probably tell you I'm a Scotch drinker.
Really?
I love Scotch.
But I was Scotch. Stole everybody's business.
They really did. Well, even them too. They're a bunch of big corporations that are owned by the same people.
What's the big guy? That's Diageo.
Diageo. Yep.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff.
Yep. But hey, it tastes good. It's too expensive, but I genuinely prefer coming here and talking to you and drinking the spirit that you've made on your farm, because that's more of a story, and it tastes better because of it. I think.
Cool. Now we got one left we haven't tried with the ones we picked here.
Okay.
That's the apple whiskey. Do you have an apple whiskey over there?
No.
We got two of them, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Pass this one over to you then.
Thank you, sir.
This one is our Virginia whiskey mixed with apple juice.
Okay.
Virginia is famous for apples, so we don't raise them ourselves. I go to Winchester up there.
Okay.
And get the apple, all that stuff. This to me is my favorite after dinner drink. It's like a liqueur.
Okay. What's the proof on this?
80 proof.
80 proof.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. But it makes a real pleasant product,
And how does the apple flavor get into it?
Oh, we mix the apple juice with it.
Just okay.
Yeah, it's not like a moonshine apple. We got like a moonshine peach. You get the flavor a different way, and it comes out clear.
Right.
But this is add the apple juice later.
Gotcha. Okay. Any added sugar or just the apples?
No sugar.
Good.
But it's sweet enough. There's a lot of sweetness in apple juice.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what. No, it's just whiskey and apple juice, nothing else.
Good.
Yeah.
I know. I asked you if there's any sugar. You said no.
No.
Definitively.
Everybody thinks I'm using. No, I don't use any sugar anywhere. No.
That's good. Well,
all
cheers.
Right. Cheers.
Oh, yeah. That's dangerous.
That goes down a little too easy.
A little too easy. Especially for 80 proof. Holy crap.
80 proof, yeah.
Man.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
And it's got that thickness of apple juice, too.
Yeah, it's that apple juice. You know how sticky it is?
Yeah.
Taste, huh?
Yeah.
If you don't like apple juice, you won't like it. But if you like apple juice, you're going to love it.
You know what that'd be good in?
What's that?
A hottie toddy.
Yeah, it would make a great hot toddy. Yeah.
Oh, man. I'll be leaving with a bottle of that. I'll be leaving with a few bottles. Very good.
Well, there you go. Now I got an idea what goes on here.
Yeah, I know we have your gin to try. We'll get that to the second.
We haven't done that yet, huh?
No, we'll get to that. But I want to ask you, what is your favorite, and what do you prefer to? What's your most fun one to make?
To make?
Yeah.
I like to make them my bourbon. Yeah, that's good. I mean, all are good. You know that single malt, that barley is hard to distill.
I was going to ask.
Still having a problem with that distilling that stuff.
Yeah.
We use the pot still,
and
then you got the coil, and that some residue out of the barley sticks to the coil.
Oh, you got to go in there and scrub it.
Yeah, you got to go in there between batches, clean it up.
Yeah,
that's a nuisance. But it makes good whiskey. It makes a lot of it too. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Corn's a high volume producer.
Right.
Wheat's not so high, but that barley. Whew.
I've heard rye can be difficult.
And
too.
rye, there's another one.
Yeah.
You got to clean it up so much, huh? Afterwards, huh?
Yeah.
The corn isn't like that. Corn just comes out crystal clear, and the coils are all clean and everything. I don't let that rye and that barley. But anyway, it's all fun to me.
Well, speaking of making it, I've heard horror stories about gin too.
Gin?
Because gin's got all the botanicals.
Yeah.
So do you use the same still and then you clean it, or how does that all work?
Well, what I do is make a bag of goodies, you know, all my botanicals I'll put in there.
Yeah.
when I started, I used to even pick my own juniper berries. I noticed there's a good crop on the trees this year. You notice that?
Yeah, I have.
Huh?
I have.
I go out there with a thing, you know, like a supermarket people wearing a curry comb like you on a horse.
Oh, sure.
And comb them berries right out.
Yes, you get a bunch of them. That's awesome.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, and I put it in a basket and hang it.
Okay.
Hang it in the doubler. So, you know, there really isn't a lot to clean up. You just take the basket out
Gotcha.
and throw it away.
Good. Just the vapors get through all the flavors.
Yeah. So it's been working out. And then we tried something a little different. We try to age it a little bit.
Oh.
So we aged it for a couple months.
Yeah.
Gets a little bit of a brown color. But I'm not so sure that was a good idea. We already started. There was a time years ago, there was a Tom's Den. I don't know if you ever heard about it.
Yeah.
He was eight. It was eight.
Yep.
But it's not people that try it like it, but if you don't try it, you don't like it.
Right. Well, I told you before too. I'm not a big gin guy, but I love coming to places like this, and it's like, hey, we made some gin.
Yeah.
And it doesn't taste like gin that I'm used to. That I had in college.
It doesn't taste like Tanqueray or nothing. Like
yeah.
That. But we've got different botanicals in there that aren't normal.
Right.
And you might be able to pick them up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, shall we?
All right. Let's just do it then.
So this is aged for a couple months?
Yeah.
It's just a little bit of a hue.
A little bit of color.
Yeah.
If you put it more in the bottle, you can see it.
Yeah.
A little glass, you can't see it so
Just a
good.
little bit, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
It's kind of soft, mellow, easy to drink.
A lot more floral.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
See, on the nose, it smells like a gin. But on the taste.
It doesn't taste like Tanqueray. You can taste the juniper berries, but we probably overdid it with the other one. I don't know if I should tell you or put it. Somebody else will be doing it now.
Yeah, they're analyzing the podcast,
Yeah.
and they're like, what is this guy putting in?
What's he got? What's he doing?
But that being said, though, even if someone, you gave the exact recipes, exact step, exact whatever, and they make it somewhere else, it's still going to taste
That's
different.
right. A lot of it depends upon your location. You
Yes.
know, your water, your still, your procedures, huh?
Yep.
It makes a difference.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so. And that's why I think these craft distilleries that are popping up, that, the market's exploded. Like you were saying earlier, everyone's just getting a license.
Yeah.
In some ways, for, us whiskey drinkers, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, whoever, I don't know. But I'm proud of the fact we make a good product,
Yeah.
It's a good standard product. You taste what it's supposed to be,
Yes, sir.
You taste it,
Yes, sir.
And we just haven't keep winning awards, but we put them in, win an award, and I figured that's good enough. How many awards do you need, huh?
Well, like I was saying, I think that's a big selling point for you is that, you're here, you're kind of the face of the brand a little bit because you're the old farmer doing the cool thing here, making whiskey.
Doing it. Yeah, I mean,
and you're doing it.
It could be feeding cattle.
Yeah, you could be. Oh, that's a good question. Do you have any animals on the farm?
Well, we used to feed all the cows, right? Feed them all out ourselves here on the farm. But
Yeah.
I got so busy, I can't do it anymore. So I got a neighbor down the road. He gets all my mash and he feeds it to the cows.
Oh, that's spent grain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I'm sure they love it.
Oh, yeah. They go crazy over it. But the guy can only do so much one day.
Right.
Yeah.
So are there any grains that you have wanted to experiment with that you haven't done yet, like spelt or oat? Because I've heard some experiments out there that people are doing.
I did some oats.
Okay.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It was really. Have you tried oat?
Oat whiskey?
It was oat moonshine.
Yeah, I had 100% oat moonshine up in northern Pennsylvania.
How'd that come out?
That was good.
It was real.
It was really good.
It was good.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Yeah. You don't think about oat.
No, you don't. We can't really raise good oats here. It's a little too warm.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You gotta go. So I'd have to go to Pennsylvania or somewhere to get the oat.
Yeah.
I dropped out. Yeah, it does make good whiskey.
Yeah. I was at this distillery up in northern Pennsylvania. They're pretty small. They're just starting out. Just a little family. But they had 100% oat whiskey. It was in a barrel. It had only been there for 2 weeks. And I was down there, doing this. And they said, "You want to try some?" They popped open the barrel and pulled some out. It had just a little bit of color, but it was so good.
Yeah, I didn't age it. I just,
Yeah.
tried to red distill. It was good. It had a neat taste. I liked
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What about anything? Is there anything that you have wanted to experiment with, or that you know thought about? Hey, or even like cask finished like stuff. Like, have you ever tried putting some of this in like a wine barrel? Or
yeah, we got it on our schedule. We're going to try some.
Okay.
I don't know. I've tried some before. I don't like it all. There was one I tried I liked.
Yeah.
So I forgot what wine it was. I think it was a port.
Okay, like a port wine finish.
Yeah.
Because I think that single malt, like
a single malt inside that port might be a way to go.
Yeah. Because I mean, it by itself is phenomenal, but a little special edition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talk about that. Me and my son.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we talk about that. Of course, the older whiskey.
Right.
Trying that. We got big barrels. We tried those. We had the 300-gallon barrels.
Wow.
That's the name they call them. But it didn't age that good.
I'm guessing it takes a lot longer.
Yeah, so we've been 10 years now. Still slow. It does give a different taste.
Sure.
Yeah. So when it gets up to 12 years, we might split it, put half of it with a wine barrel.
Okay.
And the other half on the market. We'll see how it goes.
Sure.
Just for something different.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's part of the fun too, is that you have like we were saying earlier, you have no one above you telling you what to do.
Yeah.
So if you wake up one morning and say, you know what?
I'm going to try this.
I'm going to try this. You're going to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. That's right.
And I love it.
Yeah. We have 17 products now, so, it's really tough just to keep all the books upright.
Sure.
Monthly reports drive me crazy.
Yeah, I hear you.
But anyway, it's fun. I enjoy doing it.
That's good.
Yeah.
I can tell I can tell you love it. I can tell you're enthusiastic about it.
Oh, yeah, I'm into this.
Yeah, it's a good job.
So there you go, huh?
Man. Well, hey, it's well, actually ask where are you available? Are you all in Virginia, or are you
we're in some of the local area. We're in DC and Maryland.
Okay.
Delaware. And we do have some in North Carolina, some in Tennessee.
Sure.
But Virginia, the biggest market, yeah. People in Virginia know it.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be sure to bring some of this back to my Wisconsin family. So
there you go.
They can
taste
some real Virginia whiskey.
There you go. That's where Virginia whiskey, bourbon started in Virginia. You know that story?
I've heard. So refresh my memory. I've heard that.
Well, Elijah Craig, he was a preacher. He lived in Orange.
Okay.
And then he had a whiskey shop there on the river in Fredericksburg. And he was a preacher.
Sure.
Okay. So he'd always come over and check on his whiskey in Fredericksburg and go back to Orange. And people in Orange didn't know he was a preacher. I mean, he was a preacher, but didn't know he was making whiskey. And one day the plant burned down. Anyway, some of the barrels got burned on the inside.
Oh.
And he went ahead and filled them anyway.
Sure.
And he got aged whiskey. Huh? And the people in Orange found out. They tarred and feathered him, ran him out of town. He went over the mountain, which is now today Kentucky.
Right.
And started making his whiskey.
Oh, that's funny.
That's Elijah Craig. That was the story.
That's a good side gig for a preacher.
So there you go. So Virginia was the first one to start making whiskey. Bourbon.
I love it.
There you go.
And with every sip, we're drinking some history.
There you go.
I love it. Well, Chuck, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me here. And I look forward to consuming more of your whiskey because it is very delicious.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. And come back and visit us anytime. I
would love to. And I'm gonna bring friends too, because this is a cool spot. I mean, you got a place to come see. It's like you said, it's outside of Fairfax.
Yeah, you ought to see our big festivals. We have one. I think next one is May 4th.
Okay.
Oh, a lot of people will come. The place will be packed. We'll be able to walk.
Good.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why I'm doing this, because we get to share whiskey and be, communal.
Yeah.
It's a community of whiskey drinkers. So.
Well, it's been a real pleasure.
Yeah. Well, Chuck, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.
See you next time.
Sounds good. Cheers. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd appreciate it if you left us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. The more reviews, the easier we are to find. Also, if you aren't already, be sure to follow us on social media so you never miss any of our updates. Be sure to share this episode with your friends, and always be sure to drink responsibly. There are quite literally thousands of distilleries, so we're just getting started. Stay tuned for more conversations with master distillers, distillery owners, mixologists, and even bar owners, and more. Cheers.